Danny Sanders, aka Black Widow, coming to you with a very special conversation with one of Chicago's own actor and comedian, Deon Cole. As part of my Chosen Few virtual festival series, he is one of the guest DJs this year, and I thought it would be great for us to have a conversation about his career, his Chicago roots, and what it means to play this year's Chosen Few virtual festival. So, without further ado, everybody, let's welcome Deon Cole. Talk to me, obviously you're born, raised here. When were you introduced to house music?
Man, so my cousins, I had a couple sets of cousins. My cousin Charvette and my cousin Mike Cole, they used to play it like when I was like super young. And then my cousin Todd, he used to go to like these parties all the time. He used to always go, he went to Mendel. And so he used to always go to the warehouse, and he's like, that was his spot or whatever. So I used to always listen to the music that he played too. So it was always embedded in me, and I just always I like the music because they like the music, and it just, then I began to really like it and love it and embrace it, and yeah. So I was real young. Maybe
so you were part of that crowd that didn't get to, because I'm part of the same crowd that didn't actually get to go to the warehouse because I was.
No, but I got a funny story. I went to the warehouse. My cousin had to babysit me and did not want to. He wanted to go so bad. He took me and left me in the car. And then brought me through the back door. I just know we went through this entrance. I just always remember this entrance we went in, and we just stood by the door. They wouldn't let me all the way in, but we just stood by the door where I could just kind of look up and see. I just remember seeing a bunch of people, man. That was my first introduction to a party like that. But I just remember looking and seeing and just being like, what are these people doing, and who are these people? I would think I was more intrigued by the people,
yeah,
than I was the music, because I just was like, why are these dudes walking around here with these feathers around their necks? And why this dude got on makeup? And what's this dude doing? Why this dude got tights on? What's I was bugger, wow, yeah.
I would always hear about these parties from family members who were older because I was still in grade school. So I always tell Terry that I was introduced to the music by a guy by the name of Pink House, who used to play
I remember Pink House. Yeah, that was my guy.
Yeah, he used to be my camp counselor at Chicago State. So he used to play music while we was at camp. So that was between that and the radio, that was my introduction. So I didn't get to go.
Yeah, radio was heavy too. My cousins and them, they used to play it, and then radio was real heavy because I was my own, that was my own investigation of it myself. Listen to the radio and just kind of embracing it. Yo, this is fresh.
Yeah, it wasn't until high school that I kind of got back into it, but by then everybody was either hip hop or house, and I was kind of in the middle. So a lot of us here in Chicago we followed you, so it's super proud for us to see just what you've been doing, and
thank you.
Really from the past few years. I always tell people, one of the reasons I love Blackish and Grownish so much is because it's one of the few shows that my family watches together. You don't have, shows like that anymore.
No, absolutely.
you haven't had really, you know, those shows where families, like that's the two shows that we actually make time to sit down and come
Yeah.
together.
Hmm.
How did,
Yeah.
and I love your role on both of the shows because they're so unconventional and quirky.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Love.
How did that all come about?
Well, I'm a writer as well. And
Right.
so I used to write for Conan O'Brien. I was like one of the first Black writers in late night. I think I was probably like maybe the third or the third ever in all late night, like third or fourth, something like that. And so
Wow.
there was a lot of buzz on me that I was writing for Conan. We used to like do these bits all the time, like on the show. We would constantly do like these comedy bits and yeah, so people used to always just be like, man, who's dude? And everybody was like, man, he locked down with Conan. And so when I decided to leave Conan, um, Kenya Barris and this other woman, this agent by the name of Tamara, they were talking and she was like, man, Deon is leaving Conan. He's going to be available. And they didn't say they need writers. He was just like, yo, we would love for him to come over here and write with us. Let's have a meeting with him. And so they met with me and we just talked about the show and we talked about the character that he wanted me to write for. So I started suggesting certain things, and he was like, "All right, I want to get back to you to let me know if I got the job or not." Because I had another TV show that I was doing, so I wasn't able to really be a part of this. So I know I was going to write for a little bit, and that was it. Because I had another show on TBS with Steve Carell and Rashida Jones, and so as I was waiting on that show to start, Blackish had begun, and Charlie Murphy was supposed to play this character as Anthony's friend that worked with him, and then Charlie Murphy didn't want to do it. And I knew about the character because I was gonna write for him. And so they was like, why don't you play Charlie? That's why my character's named Charlie, because
Ah,
it was supposed to be Charlie Murphy. And so I was like, okay, since he wouldn't come, they was like, just play the character one time. We'll just make it a one-time ordeal. And I was like, all right. And so I played it, and then they was like, can you do it again? And I was like, okay. And they was like, can you do it again? And I was like, yeah. And so we just kept doing it. And my other show was like, what are you doing? Because you like you with us. Like, what are
right.
you doing? So that whole first season of Blackish, I wasn't even supposed to be there. So it just happened. So the networks worked it out because it was unforbidden for an individual to be on two networks exclusively at the same time. And so they worked it out where they would offer other celebrities that they had on their network in order to do guest appearances on other network or something. It was something to that end. They just let me rock and let me kept going and kept going, and man, the rest is history.
So you initially were coming to Blackish as a writer, not
Yeah,
necessarily one of the characters. So did you
yeah.
even plan to get involved in acting, or were you trying to pursue it from a writing
No,
angle?
yeah, I love the acting. Like
Okay.
as a kid, I wanted to get into acting. I just didn't know any other way to get into it. When I started stand up was something somebody else saw in me. It wasn't me.
Right.
It was something a friend of mine saw. It was like, you should do it. And I was like, I don't know. Cause I never was no like silly dude like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I let down a lot of people because when people meet me, they'd be like, hey, like, and I'd be kind of chilling, you know? They'd be like, yo, what's wrong with him?
They
And it's
expect you
like,
all the time.
yeah, they be expecting me to throw a pie in my face and stuff. I'd
Right.
be like, nah, I'm just chilling. So
Now you're from Roseland, correct?
yeah, I'm from Inglewood by
Okay.
way of Roseland. My family grew up in Inglewood, and then my mother and yeah, my grandfather and my mother, everybody, we all moved. from Inglewood to Roseland. And then I went to Scanlon. Yeah, that's where life happened.
I always find it fascinating to see people from the neighborhoods that we grew up in,
Mm-hmm.
get out there and take those risks. And when you see them just prospering, you kind of have
Yeah.
that hometown pride. And that's one of the things that kind of excited me about seeing that you were at this festival. Made perfect sense because I've seen you here in Chicago getting your life at the Renaissance or, whenever you have an opportunity to come home. So I'm like, this is somebody who loves the music like for real, for real. And
Yeah.
I've watched your live show and have loved it because I'm just like, who's playing these records to people who have probably never even heard house music? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
just throughout your career, as your stock has continued to rise, you've still been repping house culture in small ways, just whether it's in, an outfit that you wear, which I loved. I knew it was Gucci from the moment I saw it. But the the music that you've been playing, it hasn't been some of your, ultra commercial. You going deep with some of this, some of those
Mm-hmm.
records. So
Mm-hmm.
what was your first experiences with the Chosen Few? Did you ever attend some of those early festivals at all?
Uh, I used to go to parties from like Bismarck, like Music Box. It used to be these cats that I went to school with when I was in Thornridge. This guy named Deon Brooks, uh, rest in peace, Deon, and these other cats used to be with. They used to be in class and they would be asleep. They'll be like knocked out, like on like Friday. It'd be a Friday. They'll just be like in class, sleep, dressed up though, like patent. They used to have like patent leather shoes on, like silk shirts, and they'd be sleep in class, knocked out. And I used to always be like, why these dudes always come here to sleep or whatever? Well, they used to go sneak in the music box, and they
Mm,
would like when they had marathons.
yeah.
When they would have marathons, these cats would go like on a Thursday night and go at midnight and just be in there until school, come to school and just sleep all day in school. And I used to always be like, dude, what do y'all
Right.
be doing? And so they was like, yo, it's this place called the Music Box. And they was like, man, you should come one day. And I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. But then one day we had off. Like we wasn't in school. We didn't have to be in. I think we had like a week off. We wasn't in school, and I spent the night at my cousin's house. And my cousin was like, "We can go to the Music Box," and I went, and that was like it's like freshman year in high school, something like that, and never looked back, like ever. Like that was like
You was hooked.
yeah, that was something else at that age to see that, you know what I mean? And to witness that and feel that music coming through them speakers and see these people and that I never seen, like that I understood seeing. You know, when I was younger, I didn't understand what I was looking at or whatever. And that was maybe about 4 years early. I still didn't understand what's going on. But as a teenager in high school, I was like, yo, what is this? And man, it's just always been a part of me. And then as I was older, I just always collected music. I always collected music. My cousins used to do that too. So through my years, I always collected music, always. Even through all my, you know, stuff that I did, I always played music. Anytime anybody was around me, if I was in a dressing room, a green room, if I was on set somewhere, people would be like, "What's this you playing?" Because I would have a speaker. I would have a speaker with me all the time, and I'd just be like, "Oh, that's Hale Melvin and the Blue Notes." Or, yes, that's Brenda Russell, Stephanie
Mm,
Mills. Like people would be like, "Who?" I'd be like, Brenda Russell. Like, and they'd be like, "I ain't like, is this on the radio now?" And I'd be like, "Nah." And like every time people would just always be like, yo, what is dude playing? And
Right.
I always played the music and just all at any party, anytime I came home. It was sometimes I would fly home just to party and then fly right back and go to work the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
it was situations like that where I come in, party, and then say hello to my mama and my son, and then come right back out here and be on set the next morning. You know, so it was like that serious with me that I started doing that and falling in love with different DJs over the years that I followed. I mean, like I was a super Ron fan, super Frankie fan,
Mm-hmm.
super Lil Lewis fan. I
Oh yeah.
remember when Lewis used to spin, if man, we heard he was somewhere, we was there. Like if
Yeah.
we was there. Hatchet, Hatchet, Andre, like man, like super fans. Like man, just always anytime they was somewhere. Farley, I used to love Farley. Then I started like getting off into like Kane. Then I started getting off into like Terry. I started like watching Terry tear it up and
Yeah.
Dunn and like it like all of them started coming along where I was like checking them out and loving what they did and you know just always loved the culture and just loved the music and the music was so unique and it was just something of our own, you know. And
Right.
you
You
know,
can't
I
help
think
but feel good, you know. Like
yeah,
that's it's always been a thing with me, especially coming up as I always say a child of hip hop. I always felt that pull because what I felt when I listened to the music or when I was at a house party, it's still something like I would, you know, my mother would always be like, "You in the club?" I said, "What you feel in church is what I feel
yeah,
when I
yeah,
go to the club," you know.
yeah,
So it was we were club kids, but we were there for like a reason. We just want to release and let it go, and nobody was sitting up, all
yeah.
tensed up.
It wasn't none of that too cool
Yeah,
for school. Wasn't it had nothing to do with what you was wearing. It had nothing
yeah,
to do with your the money you spent. You didn't know who you was dealing with. If you vibe with them, you was with them.
yeah.
Then later on, you found out you
Right.
know, she got two teeth and no job, and you like, but I already like you. You know, like it's too late. Like,
We met on the dance floor. I
yeah,
was
right. You
dancing
just
with you,
like,
right?
man, like, all right, like forget it. I already like you, so forget it.
Right.
You know, so but it had nothing to do with nothing but the music and how you
Yeah,
felt and the people you vibe with, and that's a feeling that we will forever chase. We would never feel the way we felt back then. And we will always chase that. And we will always keep music alive because of that
right.
feeling that we had back then and how that brought us together and brought us around people where it didn't matter. And still to this day, it don't matter. Like you can
That's
go to a house party in Chicago right now and it ain't got nothing to do with your jewelry, like what you wearing. It ain't got nothing to do with how you walk in the club. It don't have nothing. I go in the club, it has nothing to do with nothing.
yeah, and that's
No
what I mean, like,
accomplishments I made. None
right.
of that. It's like I'm grooving. I remember this is a true story, and I ain't like trying to like toot my horn or nothing like that, but I'm just like telling you what happened. I had we had went to the White House, the whole Blackish crew. We went to the White House, and I took my mother and my kid and my son's mother, and we all went. And after we left the White House, we came back to Chicago, and I remember going to a party, and I just remember how none of what I just seen and with nothing that I just witnessed didn't even matter. Like it was, it was all
Thank
about the
you.
music. It was all it like had not like I was around some historicals like
Right.
that I never even seen before,
Dignitaries.
never been a part of. It had nothing to do with nothing. It was like that music is what it was. Like that's what it was. Like it had nothing to do with nothing. I remember one time Amar Rashad was in like a house party one time. Wasn't nobody even talking to him because everybody was too busy grooving. You know what I
That's
mean? Like it didn't matter about your gang affiliation,
none of that.
your political affiliation. It was just music. It's
Yep.
just, you know,
And that,
I just stand around
mhm.
and I learn and I listen, like what blends they doing, what songs they playing. I think
Like one of the things I've been sharing with people is that in the middle of all this stuff going on, pandemics, protests, and all of this other stuff, I have seen creators just really pivot in ways that, we just haven't seen before. And one of the ways I think you've done it is, by engaging with your audience. What was the motivation behind doing your live show?
I just wanted to hear music that I wanted to hear. And I was just doing it just to be playing around. I think when I first started, I was kind of mocking D Nice, but I wasn't. I kind of was like, no, I was in my mind, I was like, man, what D Nice did is great. And I was like, and I didn't think of it like that. And I've had equipment for like 3 years and just never played it because I never had the time because I was
Right.
too busy working. And so I just was like, I just had it. And so when D Nice was like, because I remember supporting him when it was like, my man Cootie called me up one day and was like, man, we all on D Nice page because I know D Nice. And so I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, let me go support D. And I think it was about 160 of us, maybe 180 that was on his page to listen to him DJ.
Okay.
And then it just started progressing and people started going and it went from 180 to 500 to 1,000 to I mean, what you see right now. And I just was like, man, that's crazy how he's DJing for all these people in his home. And I was like, man, I should try that. I was like, cause I want to learn. I was like, I want to learn how to DJ so bad. I got the equipment. I was like, I ain't never used it. I got the time now. I should just try to do it. So I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I started like practicing, playing with it and just playing around or whatever. And so one day I was just like, mocking D Nice and going, yeah, I'm about to DJ, and went on live and it was horrible. And everybody was just like laughing at me and like, keep your day job. I remember reading that. Everybody kept going, keep your day job or whatever. And
Oh,
I
wow.
was just like, but I was horrible. But I just was like, dang, but people liked what I played. They loved the songs I played. They were just like, man,
Mhm.
that's a jam. But the way you blended was horrible. And I was just like, I don't know, something came across me like I was, and then I started just DJing for my. It was just for me, listen to my music. It wasn't even really mocking D. I just was like playing, and then I started thinking to myself, you know what? Everybody think I can't do this. I'm gonna learn how to do this right before their eyes and show them that if you put your mind to something, you can do it. And I was like, I'm gonna learn right in front of them. I was like, I'm just gonna keep going, and I'm gonna take this energy that they're giving me, like, yeah, boo. People come to my page, crack jokes, leave, and all that. And in my mind, I'm going, I'm gonna do this. And I just kept doing it. And I just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept learning. And during the week, I would just spin. And so that's why, like, every Sunday, it just seemed like I was progressively getting a little bit better because all week I would just be spinning for hours, like just practicing and practicing. So when Sunday came along, it was like showtime. And then people would
Right.
be like, oh, okay, that was cool. And then people was like, oh, that was great. He had a couple good blends. Oh, that
Mhm.
was a nice song he played. Oh, that was cool. Oh, yo, that was dope. Oh, damn, what song is that? Damn. How you get, whoa, who was that? Yo,
Mhm.
that was cool. Yo, he all right. You know, then people start going, yo, you need to check dude out. Like, yo. And then I had other people hit me up. And people asking me about music and people requesting stuff. And then people start telling other great people. And I remember Kid Capri came over and was listening and like, yo, dude, you snapping. And then D Nice was coming over, like, you snapping. And then Questlove. And then all these other people started coming on. And then Louis Vega came on, like, yo. And then Louis hit me up, like, I got some music for you. And then I started playing music. And Terry was sending me stuff to play. And you know, new music to play, and I started like breaking music and playing music, and mind you, I still don't know really what the fuck I'm doing, to be honest with you. But I get it, but I'm like not totally there, but I get it. I get the blend, but then I'm starting to learn it's more than just the blend. It's this, and it's how I blend, and it's what I blend and what I play, and I still was learning and still getting it in. But at the same token that I'm doing this, there's a group of people, as much as people are laughing at me and going, you getting okay.
Right.
For every one person that's doing that, there was 100 people going, oh my God, what is that song? And dude, you are, what are you doing? We don't even understand what you're playing right now. So for people who knew house, they were like critiquing. Those that didn't know house was going, dude, you got me somewhere I ain't never been before. Like, what is this? And I never call it house. I only call it house around Chicago people. But everybody else, I constantly say disco because I don't want them to get it confused with, like, you know, that EDM or whatever you call that or whatever. Like, I ain't want them thinking I just played like, you know, that track acid type shit or whatever. So I always say disco, and it makes it more intriguing to people to go, oh, I wouldn't mind listening to that. And then when they listen to it, they be like, God damn. And so that's when it just started picking up. So I started playing for new fans rather than playing for those that already love it. You know, and so a lot of DJs, I think they forget that sometimes. They be so busy like, oh, I want to play this new song, or they so bored with what they playing that they don't think about the new fans, because that's what you want. You don't want to just go out there and keep playing for those that love you already. Your job or whatever you do is to grab the masses. So you have to figure out a balance of how to play for you as well as for others and for new people. You can't forget Lolita Hathaway because you're tired of playing it. You gotta play it because it's somebody that ain't never heard that before that's gonna hear that and go, dude, what is this? Play those classics is to get new people in. And for old people who still love it, they love it. But it's a method to that. It's like for people to be like, dude, what is Deputy of Love? Like, yo, what is that? Like, they never even heard of that before. And so that's been my thing, you know, as far as like trying to do. And then not only that, in the midst of me grabbing these new people, shouting out the pioneers that made it happen and who kept this culture alive and all that, and then turning them on to them, going, man, if you like what I'm doing, shit, wait till you hear Terry, or wait till you hear Wayne, or, you know, wait till you hear Louis Vega, you know what I mean? So that's why I always shout them out. Every time I spin, I always shout out Wayne, Terry, and even Alan King too.
That's what I think is so dope, because you're exposing our music to a broader audience. So it's your DJs, and then it's, you know, people like me who make records, you know, with these DJs that aren't that kind of exposure. So I think the fact that you've used your platform to push not just yourself, but others from the home, you know, from the community, I think that's dope in itself, because we've always said we're at a certain age. Where do you bring in some more to keep that culture going? You don't want it to die. So you got to bring in new people. You got to.
Yeah, and that's why And that's why it's very important to pass that along. It's not important for me to play music that I've heard others play or the way they play it, pick up on how they play it, and then I play it on my own. It's
Mhm.
important for me to show love, to show others to show love. In order for others to give love to architects and in whatever genre the shit you do, you
Right.
got to give love to those that was there before you in order to have somebody else behind them do it. You know what I mean? And not only are you pushing the culture, you're also pushing the pioneers that push the culture. And so
That's right.
it's like two things in one that I feel as though is very important to do. You know.
What do you what does it mean for you to be a part of the Chosen Few Festival? Like what either your past experiences or the one that you're getting ready to have now, what does that mean to you?
I've been going to Chosen Few festivals since the beginning. Since the beginning, I was going to them joints. Over the past 5 years, I think I've missed the past, maybe past maybe 4 years, 4 or 5 years that I've missed them because I've always worked. I've always been on tour,
Hmm.
doing a show or something like that. So July 4th is a big holiday for comedians. Chosen Few is the biggest platform in the world to me as far as when it comes to like what we play and our culture and music. You got house DJs from Baltimore, New York, Jersey, LA
Yep.
that will will die to be on that stage and that platform.
Yep.
For them to come to me and ask me to like rock, I was kind of like, what? And I just was
Mhm.
like, nah, like I'm not doing nah, hell no, like no, I'm not ready for that. No, not at all. And Terry was just like, yo, we talked and Wayne talked and they was just telling me like the importance of what I've been doing and how inspiring it is. And I just was like, wow. And I think that was the key. That was the key for
Mhm.
me to do it because they was just talking about how inspiring it was to have somebody in my position push the culture the way that I have and turn, I mean, white executives in Hollywood buying Terry's music and
That's dope.
knowing who Terry is and knowing who Wayne is and Alan King and like knowing these people and coming to listen to them play and all of that. And so they was just saying like, man, you should rock with us. We think it'd be cool. Like you've done a lot for this culture in the little time that you've done it in a lot of DJs that's been spinning for 20, 30 years that
Absolutely.
who just be spinning for,
Themselves
just
a small
getting
following.
spinning, right? Yeah. So they was like, man, why don't you just come rock? And so I thought about it and was like, man, that'd be crazy because I've always that's like an elite platform to me. Like you on there, it's like it don't get no bigger than me. And so
Right.
for them to extend their platform and ask me to rock on them was like insane. Number one, for me to kind of comprehend that, but then for me to go, okay, let me just get on, play the way that I play, and that's just it. And try not to change nothing up. Bring a new, try to bring like my sound to it in a sense, like infusing different songs together and again doing what I feel as though is important, which is play for new fans.
Right.
And that's the difference. That's gonna be the difference of my mix. My mix is gonna be, and they are legends. They gonna get new fans, old fans. They know what they doing. I am not saying it, they what they I told Terry just the other night. I said I was like, dude, I I I want to be where you at, yo. Like, I just want to be where you at, my dude. Like, just musically. So they gonna get all what they get. Me personally, my goal is like I want to get new fans. I want new people to listen to me and go, dude is playing some music. Like he got some music, or people going, I ain't never heard that before. Man, what is this? You know, I want people to do that. And so that was my goal. My goal was like to make Chicago happy, plus to get new people to hear this and go, yo, you know, it's a very strategic lineup of music that I
Mm-hmm.
got lined up, you know, to play or whatever, you know. But I Terry and Andre and Wayne and I like them dudes. I'm basically Chosen Few is gonna be a real big school day for me. That's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna be sitting back, taking notes, listening, and that's the that's what I'm going to get out of that day. I'm going to love for Chicago to hear me play. For those that haven't seen me live, and the rest of the world, that's great too, you know. But if I could learn from that and then apply what I learned from Chosen Few, and then the next day Sunday play,
Mm-hmm.
apply what I learned, and then rock Sunday, like, and it work. Not only do it, but it work. That's it. That's that. As long as I keep elevating, you know. And I say this even in my stand-up routine, but it's real though. You know, elevation is uncomfortable.
It
So
is.
I stay uncomfortable because it's someplace you ain't never been before. So I stay uncomfortable and I stay not knowing and I stay confused, you know, because I'm trying to figure it out and build, build, and so it's just a good uncomfortable that I love being in.
I think that's so dope that you're an actor, you're a comedian, but you took something and said, I'm gonna learn this too because I can. And
Yo, and a lot of people see, a lot of people don't know what to do with nervous energy. A lot of
mm-hmm,
people don't know what to do with fear. Like they don't know what to do with it. The simple thing to do to get rid of it is to back away from it. Get away from it. Do not fuck with fear. Don't even put yourself in a situation to be feared or to have fear. I mean, like you don't even want that. Like you you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to do
right,
nothing. So you're gonna play it. Whatever you do, you're gonna play it
play it
like
safe.
this. And it's very boring and you can never progress. And you will never elevate. That's not elevation. When you're comfortable, you're not elevating. What you're
Right.
doing is you're marveling in the setting that you set for yourself, and that's what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
When you're nervous and when you're scared, you take that energy and you use it. It's the beginning of elevation. Anytime you go, oh man, I don't know, that's the start of elevation. And
Yeah.
you have to look at it like that, just like you took that situation and you build on it, and I mean the rest is history. Now you cement it in the culture, you know, forever. And so a lot of people don't know how to take that. A lot of people don't
Right.
know how to use that energy or whatever. And so it's
And
good
it
that you just
continues to
ran with it
different
and was like, yo, yeah, you just gotta run with it and be like, yo, let's do it.
comedy. He was like, now that's a whole different breed. He was like, because the fact that you have to be so vulnerable as a comedian,
Yeah.
more so than even what he does is acting. And that's something that I think separates the good from the greats and why people connect with you as a comedian, with people as music artists, even as DJs. And I connect with DJs that I can feel
Mm-hmm.
their soul when they play. You know, I always know if a DJ might be feeling a certain kind of way. Terry played recently right after George Floyd's murder, and I felt that, I felt that
Mhm.
frustration. So when an artist allows themselves to be that vulnerable and allow people to come in, I think that's the real connection that
Yeah,
people have, especially with you. It's not you're playing records and you're doing this, but you're also allowing people to see you vulnerable. You've
hmm
been at the top of your game. You've had a stellar year, especially with the Netflix special and Blackish. So now I'm going to try this where I'm not, I'm starting right here with everybody else and
yeah,
allow
yeah,
people to see that that's a certain level of vulnerability that's attractive to an
yeah,
audience. So,
yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate it, and that's what it is. It's a stripping. Like you can go, yeah, I done did this movie or this TV
right,
show or this tour or whatever, whatever. Like I I could use all of this as a platform, but I decided to go here and build and build this up and use this time to build that up. I tell people this, if you're in this pandemic and you don't come out of this with a new hustle, a new hobby, a new something,
yeah,
like you've truly wasted your time
absolutely.
in the midst of being whatever it is you love. This is the moment to do it. And I tell people this all the time. Do you have the time right now in order to put into whatever it is you love that you never had time to do? Do that. See what happens. See, are you a natural in it? Are you great at this? And then from there, take that, and you never know, it might be lucrative, it might be your new job, it might be your new way of making money. Like, you just don't know. I don't care if it's making bracelets
Right.
to making clothes to whatever it is. Right
Hmm.
now is your chance to do it, and I did that in front of everybody's eyes. They
Yeah.
cannot say they did not watch me from the beginning.
Yeah.
In your face. I did it. I went from the worst motherfucker you ever seen spin to going the chosen few. And like, you can't say you can't do it. Ain't no excuses. Like,
Right.
I spent, people don't even know. They see me on Sunday, but they had no idea what I was doing during the week.
Right.
I was spending like, it was like people I was cool with who was going like this. They'd be like, "What you doing today?" I'd be like spinning, and they'd go like this. All right, talk to you later. And like not even, or yeah, hit me up when you're done, or hit me up when you're done, and then I won't even talk to them because I'd be spinning all night. And it was relationships that I was losing because I was like so
Focus.
caught up in music and just, so playing and trying to craft and get better and also find my sound and find my purpose in what I'm
Mm.
doing, because it's important to do that. It's good to find it's good to find me playing music the way that I want to play it. You know what I mean? And it's been truly something else, boy. I ain't gonna even lie. And
Yeah.
I'm so stoked about playing on Sunday, Saturday. But
I told them, I
Saturday,
said,
the chosen few gonna be incredible, man. It's gonna be incredible
yes, I'm
what them
having
boys about to
a
do.
watch party with most of my friends who are DJs, but we're gonna pack up in the it's about 10 of us in the backyard with the projection screen. We got, cocktails and everything ready. So I'm excited because I haven't seen anybody in God knows how long. So
And it's gonna be so bananas, man. It's gonna be so crazy. Like, and I'm
yeah,
out the
so
gate. I'm out the gate. It's me, I'm first, and then Wayne right after me. So we gonna, man, it's gonna be so stupid though. I can't wait.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing you play. I'm looking forward to the whole day. Like I always say, it's not even 4th of July for me. It's always been my house holiday weekend for God knows how long. So, we're
Yeah,
not
love.
together. We're going to still be together virtually in these little
Yeah,
people hanging out. So I'm so happy you spoke with me. I hope I didn't take too much of your time, but thank you
it's
so
all
much.
love. No, it's all good. I appreciate it. And keep doing what you're
Congratulations
doing, man. And
on
hopefully,
everything.
I'll thank you. Hopefully, man, you take off with this is another great avenue for you to have, and hopefully you can use this and have this catapult your man.
Right.
But it's all good. Thank you so much though.
I
Appreciate this.
really enjoyed this, so I appreciate you doing it.
Take it easy. Thank you so much.